Hi guys, this is Michael from the Board Games Chronicle. Today I have another exciting material for you. Today we'll be looking at Napoleon, another, I believe, very interesting game designed by Ted S. Racer, published by GMT Games. Ted Racer is mainly known for his, I believe, most fundamental and or one of the most fundamental titles in the card-driven games history, CDG, namely Paths of Glory, of course, a game with which I spent so much time and had a lot of fun that recently I actually acquired the deluxe edition for this because I'm having so much blast with that. Now we are getting the newest design from Ted Racer about one Frenchman. Yep, exactly, about one Frenchman, and we will be actually going going with him through his life, and we shall see how much we will, will be able to travel with him, because this is a solitary game which starts in 1793. It is when the revolution is in a full swing. It's also the time when Robespierre brothers are at the power in France. The King Ludwig was just executed, and of course the whole royal Europe is trying to actually quell the rebellion, the revolution. Would this young artillery officer manage to be a turning person for the fate of France? Let's see. The game will show it. Today we will look at its components, a little, very little about the game mechanics. How does it look like? There will be a separate material where I will actually, you know, help you with the game's rules. So let's see immediately what's inside. First of all, if you look at the box and the cover, I love how it was designed. Here we see the Napoleon, and here we see his shade. And this shade is, of course, how to say, very known, and a lot of people who know his story would immediately recognize him. This is a 3-inch box, so everything should fit nicely, and we should have no problem with putting all the elements inside. First of all, what do we have here? We have some set of tokens, yeah, which we will be using during the game. I will tell you a little about it. There's not too many counters here. There will be a lot of cards. That's for sure. So we have, of course, Spain, Austria, Prussia, Russia, British. This will be main use, if I remember correctly, for diplomatic relations. Yeah, we have, of course, also the private side of Napoleon, so his sons, for example, if he had any. And yeah, we will also have here the counters, yeah, for the particular parts of the game. I still need to read it. The DRM, yeah, will be important. There will be a lot of die rolling here, but you can influence it, and of course, yeah, you can achieve even better results. So just a couple of tokens. In essence, you have 40 tokens, not too many. Let me first jump to the rulebook. Rules of play. First thing which I love about this rulebook immediately, saying this first time, is that this is not glossy. This is a matte paper, very nice to touch, and it's not, having any reflexes. When I'm reading the rules during the day, it's not a problem, but when I'm reading the rules in the evening with artificial light, it's much easier to read them exactly like this. Now, I would like to draw your attention to this point, GMT1. This is the subsection of GMT specifically dedicated to solitaire games. And I think Jason Kerr and the team really did the great job of developing the game. So Ted Racer designed it and GMT1 developed the game. First of all, we look how long the rulebook is. The total rulebook is on 24 pages, but at least some of them are scenarios, and explanations. So the real rulebook is about 18, 19 pages. Not overly long, especially for a detailed solitaire game. Here is table of contents on the first page, so if you deduct it, it will be like 16. I would say this is not overly complex war game. It's just accessible and with enough number of rules or possibilities of which rules will create to have an engaging game. So we have a description of a card, of a player board. By the way, I saw the pictures of the player board. It looks gorgeous, and you can see similarities to games like Versailles. Yeah, I believe by Mark Herman, where you had exactly similar graphics to that. So, and Prime Minister to some extent. So this game also follows similar palette of colors and shapes. Of course, one might think about those cards like if you see them from far away, at least for me, it was like Commons Colors Napoleonics. It has similar cards. Maybe the hat is not so big, but you know, it has some influences also on me. So yeah, we have full campaign scenario description because there are also shorter scenarios, and depending on the part of the life of Bonaparte, you can start the whole scenario, you can start from the beginning, or you can start also the smaller scenarios just to familiarize with the game. So description of everything here. Being Napoleon, what does it mean? Sequence of play. This game is a solitary game. It's pretty procedural, so you have exactly phase by phase by phase. Then you have a year setup phase, so you actually go through all those steps of a sequence of play. Will not be going into details too much here. As you can see, these are the rules with some example of plays. Here is example of play, and here the rules actually will be finishing. Card place clarification is really good because it helps you to understand how the cards should be played. And I told you about scenarios, so we have several of them. Yeah, you have command scenarios, you have first consul scenario, medium length campaign, you have emperor scenario, of course, so 3 of them. By the way, the box says that the game lasts from 1 to 4 hours, which is true for 2 reasons. First of all, you can play shorter scenarios, which can last up to 1 hour, or the whole campaign up to 4 hours. This is one explanation. The other one is, of course, you can play the full game, which would normally last 4 hours. But unfortunately, Napoleon might die earlier and be unlucky. So that also influences the length of the game. And remember, it's not like this is an easy game. In order to get to the real achievements, you would really need to sweat a bit. And then we have a playbook, also matte, not glossy. And we have quick start guide. I like GMT recently really puts a lot of effort for the players to quickly get into the game. I'm still probably old timer. I like to read the rule book or the whole rule book and only then jump into the game. I can visualize what the rules means, but I'm fully aware and appreciative that some people might really try to do it the other way around. So we have quick start guide, which will help you to jump into the game very quickly with some examples of play, which I believe are what people are looking for when they are trying to familiarize with a new game. Examples of play are great for this. Yes, it's example of play, a lot of things happening. As you can see, cards will be playing the main role. And then we have card manifest. So all the cards are described here. These are not clarifications like in the rule book of the rules. It's more what the cards meant, what was happening, what was historical background behind it. And there is a couple of decks I forgot to tell you, because you have commander deck, you have first consul deck, and you have emperor deck. It divides the life of Bonaparte in those 3 mm, distinctive periods, and of course, various things were happening during those periods. It would be improper to put all the cards into one common deck because some events which should not happen in particular part of his life would be implemented. So I believe this is a good solution. Let me quickly go through this. And then I Napoleon chronology. If you would like to learn a little bit about Napoleon, this is a really good read. It summarizes his life, what was happening during this, what was the main events. Uh, I encourage you to do it. We all know most probably main events from his life. Austerlitz, Jena and Auerstadt, Borodino, Elba, and so on, so on. Waterloo, of course. But it's good to understand the history behind him, how actually he achieved so much as he did, and to get a better context. I believe most of the war gamers play the games not only for the mechanical joy, but also for learning the history. So I encourage you to do this definitely. Now, so you have history of Napoleon here. You can see there are periods and there are years when things started. Yeah. To be intense. So this is the playbook. Really like it. And then we have campaign battle map, where we'll be putting the leaders, rolling the die, and evaluating the result. It will not be overly complex. It is not a war game with uh, cheat, cheats and counters and hexes. It's a quick resolution of a battles. Yeah. And then we have something fantastic. I will pause for a moment with a map. First of all, I will show you the cards and then I will show you the map. So there is a lot of cards. I believe the rule book should tell us how many of them, but you can see immediately there is a lot of them. There should be component list. Let me just double check it. 222 playing cards. 10 divider cards. So yeah, so we have 230 over 230 cards, a lot of them, which I believe will also be very nice for replayability of a game. You can really have new events and new things happening here during this time. So let us now have a look at this. And by the way, first thing which you can observe is which deck the cards are from. Commander, first council deck. Let me open it. I should have my opener here handy. Mhm. Okay. We have some divider cards. Already can see them. Yeah, this would be kind of a divider cards. Abdication 1814. MD, so Emperor deck 1810, 1809, 1807. This is first. So dividers will actually divide our deck depending on which type of campaign we'll play. And then we have the cards. Let me go from the other side of the camera. So these are the cards, and you can see this card is commander deck, and this is also in first console deck. Not sure what is plus 2A. I will learn it. Strategic and tactics. A lot of. It reminds me a bit Mr. President, a great solo game which I played last year. Really looks familiar. Very familiar. Oh, one of the most brave and loyal commanders of Napoleon, Poniatowski. Yeah, my compatriot. And then you have more and more Polish campaign. Yeah, you know, this game is also close to my heart because what was happening during the Napoleon years was actually in like 10 years after partition of Poland. So, we all had high hopes in him, and to some extent very fulfilled. And till this day, till today, in Poland, Napoleon has rather good press. And I'm not sure if you know that the Polish national anthem is the only one in the world in which Napoleon is mentioned by name. Yeah, that's exactly the truth. So this is the second part of the deck. Yeah, even more cards. They are very nicely done. Very nicely done. Commander deck, and then you have also your deck. I would need to learn how to play with them. Here we start with again first console deck, pure first console deck, and I believe we should have Emperor here. I would like to see it. What will be there? I have a feeling this game will be a great travel in history and a learning experience. I see so many historical contexts in these games already now, looking quickly through them, that I believe this would be wonderful. And yeah, definitely we need some nice storage solution for this Emperor deck. Making Kings, yeah. Oh, we have a famous Prussian general. And more. It's Kutuzov. Do we have Kutuzov? Of course, we have Kutuzov, the arch enemy of Napoleon. And more things like this. Let's see, Arc de Triomphe. Let's see, Beethoven. That's nice. English Gold, Fever, Goethe. See, a lot of famous people were living during those times. We don't even sometimes realize this. Napoleon takes an eye. Prussia rises. Okay. Let me see, where does it finish? Congress of Vienna. So it's just after, of course, collapse of Napoleon Grouchy. Memories, Murat's Folly. Waterloo. The last card, 220. Okay, so these are the cards. But this is not the last thing which I wanted to present to you guys. Let me just make space now for the wonderful, beautiful, and breathtaking map. It was really nicely prepared, and as you might imagine, all those cards will be placed there, and the tokens too. So let me put it for a moment here, and we will look at them. As I told you, the graphics, while not same, are similar to what we saw in Versailles and what we saw in the Prime Minister. Okay, let me now just take the camera, what you can see and how you can see it. So let me start from here. Yeah. So this is the Europe. Portugal, Spain, Kingdom of Naples, France, Austria, Britain, Americas, Holland, Prussia, Polish, Duchy, Russia, Sweden, and Kingdom of Westphalia. We have general records track here and the years track. You can see commander, first council, and then an emperor. Here we have card draw deck. And here we will have all those elements of the game which are so important, like who is your chief of staff, who is minister of police, Taleyard, politics. Here we have a family area, and of course you have the modifiers for campaign, for fighting, strategy and tactics. We will have a commanders, treaties. Here is the diplomatic tracks and the attitude of the countries to you, and campaign resolution table over here. I like the map, looks very nice, very beautiful and very functional. I believe it will be also easy to play on it. And really can't wait to do my first session with this. Okay, colleagues, that will be everything for today. I did a bit longer than I was planning. First look at Napoleon. My first look at videos are not a pure unboxings. We are also trying to give some historical context, maybe some personal, observations. Plus, of course, a bit of the rules if we already are aware how they will be played. So this is Napoleon by Ted Racer from GMT Games, a beautiful, interesting solo play about the life of Napoleon Bonaparte. Can't wait to play this, and I of course will create more materials which I will share with you. That's everything for today. Thank you very much for being with me. If you like this video, do not hesitate, give thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content like this, kindly please subscribe. Every small subscription counts for a small content creator like the Board Games Chronicle. That's all for today. Thank you for being with me. Bye.